Over the summer, heat waves scorched the United Kingdom. The mercury soared to record-breaking levels across the country. That set off severe drought, crop damage, and more. It made me wonder whether this year's apple harvest in my garden would be affected too. Luckily, I've discovered that the fruit trees were going to be fine after all. These are some of the images of spring in the garden. The explosion of apple blossoms was much more intense than I can ever remember. It must have been a good omen. The fruits burst onto the scene with a vengeance in August. I had never seen anything like it and have been picking apples since. Autumn was unusually mild, and now winter has begun. There are still plenty of apples left on the trees. This is unheard of and certainly not normal, but I'm not complaining. Surprisingly, there are still plenty of foliage on some of the trees too. That's very unusual for this time of the year. These are baking apples, but for some reason, they're just sweet enough to eat. They're what British people call eaters, and I've been eating plenty. I wonder if the drought had anything to do with this, the sweetness of the apples. I've been able to pick and pack as many apples as I can since August, with the trees groaning with so much fruit that even a few branches could no longer bear the weight of the apples, and they abruptly broke off. I've run out of wheelbarrows and have to be creative. So far, I've been able to share this harvest with family, friends, and even strangers. But the apple trees keep crying out for attention. I discover that what's been a daunting task in years past is actually a very mindful, calming experience for me. For instance, I enjoy the hide and seek, spotting and picking the unblemished apples that escape the wildlife's attention. I'm finding that the smaller untouched apples can usually be found hidden beneath the long grass. It's amusing to see which animals had a go at the apples. Small pecks mean the garden birds. Large bite marks mean the squirrels. And large missing chunks usually signal foxes, deer, or badgers manage to have a good chomp. Since August, I've managed to organize about 80 large boxes of apples so far. There are also several tubs of crab apples too, and there'll be much more to harvest in the coming week. A local farmer will collect this latest batch, which will complement his feed for his livestock. Several strangers have picked up a box or two to make, I'm told, jams, jellies, and apple crumble. Some plan to prepare the apples for freezing. It's hard to believe that in winter there's plenty more apples to harvest. I haven't even tackled the crab apple tree in earnest yet. It's going to require a lot more time and energy, which I'm very happy to invest. As I know all too well, the winter cold is settling in fast. And all good things must come to an end, at least for this harvest.